Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter at Boink Studios and check out our Facebook page where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and you are listening to Tom Clark's Main Event. This is episode number 38 of the podcast, and if you're joining us today for the very first time, we say welcome aboard. If you're coming back for a repeat visit, we say, hey, thanks for checking back in with us. And to all those involved, we extend to you, as always, the customary laurel and a hearty handshake. Thanks for listening. Thanks for reading. Thanks for supporting. And hey, thanks for always being there, Doc. So, how are you guys today? How's everything going with you? It is awesome to be back. As we said before, this is number 38 of the podcast. We've had a lot of stuff going on here recently in the world of professional wrestling. A lot of ups and downs, mostly downs if you're a WWE fan. We're going to cover some of that today. And again, thank you for coming back with another visit. I will tell you for sure there are some things in the works from yours truly. I've been threatening to drop a brand new podcast on you for a while now. That is actually still in the works. For those of you who are interested, go check us out online, tomclarkbr.wix.com/boink. We're probably going to buy the destination name here shortly, and it may end up being boinkstudios.com. Not really sure yet. Probably what it's going to be. Anyway, we're going to drop a second show on you, and it's going to be more than just pro wrestling. It's going to be comic books, movies, TV, music, you name it. We're going to do it. So there you go. But if you want some pro wrestling, brother, are you into the right program here? This is where you need to be, because this is the main event, and I'm Tom. This is my show. Were you not paying attention? It's all right there in front of you. You got my big, ugly mug, glaring at you right now, wearing the phones and everything. And I mean, here I am, man. What's up? So, all right, man, let's do this. 38, number 38, this is the main event. The main event this time around is WWE Heels and Their Dirty Deeds. That's right. It's not as much of an homage to Dean Ambrose as it is to the heels of said company and their dirty deeds, or should I say their lack thereof. If you're guessing that this particular podcast is being referenced from a column that I wrote, you would be correct in assuming that. This is actually going to be referenced from two different columns that I wrote, and my cat has now come into the room to say hello. We're going to hope he doesn't get on the recording here. My cat's name is Tiny, by the way, and he weighs like 40 pounds. But, when I got him, he was, tiny. So, anyway, there you are. If I keep saying his name, he's going to jump to my lap. He's going to make a terrible noise on the microphone. It's going to be all the rage. Everyone's going to be talking about, good God, Tom, what are you thinking? Letting your crazy cat on your lap during the recording of a fine podcast such as this one. But you know what? Things happen sometimes. It's just the way of the world. So there you go. Love your animals, people. Treat them right. And they will, in turn, beg you to pet them 24/7, which is what my cat does all the time. So, can we get back to the show? What's up? I know what you're saying. Let's do this. One column that I recently published, actually on December 4th, on the Camel Clutch blog, should I say, the highly esteemed Camel Clutch blog, entitled, WWE Heels Go Straight While the World Goes Mad, which you can find again on camelclutchblog.com. Just look me up on the front page. I should be there somewhere. Please just check me out, if you will. That'd be awesome of you. And also on Bleacher Report, you can find published on the same day. You can call these perhaps sister columns, I suppose, sort of one to a follow-up as the other, This one entitled Lack of Balance Between Baby Faces and Heels is Destroying WWE. Man, destroying is a strong word. Not the word I chose. It was actually the word my editor chose for me, which is perfectly fine. Because in the final analysis, I actually agree with exactly what he was saying. So there you are. But just as point of reference, that's where this particular show is coming from. Now you know. So, there again. How's everyone out there? Hope you're up for some talk about wrestling. and hope you like some heels, okay? For those of you not schooled in the pro wrestling vernacular, let me school you for a moment, if I may. A heel is a bad guy. He's a villain. He's the ne'er-do-well. He's the heavy of the piece, as it were. He's the one that you want to see get his in the end. He's the one that basically drives the entire story, whether you're reading a book or you're watching your favorite TV show or you went to the movies. The villain makes the entire story work, and nothing could be more true, or truer as the case may be, in the world of professional wrestling, especially WWE, where the heels should make the world go round. And anyone that knows me or knows my writing or has listened to the show can tell you I'm a big fan of the heels. Not so much in that I am a fan of them per se, but because I have always been of the belief, as many of us are and always have been, is that a good, strong, credible heel will make for a good, strong, credible wrestling program, okay? Because everything that revolves around that will mean more, it will make more money, it will last more, the whole 9 yards, and everything is that much more important because the heel is doing his job, which is exactly what you want to be talking about, man. You don't want to be talking about a situation in which the heels are lazy, or they're weak, or they're not getting the job done, or they're not over all that much. That's the last thing in the world you want to have happen. You want heels that are, again, getting out there, getting their heat. And for those of you who don't know what heat is that negative reaction from the crowd. It's the way a fan hates you. It's the way they boo you, they jeer you. They basically want to see a truck, take you out of the equation. And if you really are doing your job, then that's what people want for you, is for the worst amount of bodily harm to be inflicted upon you and yours, because that's just how mean and nasty you really are. And for those of you who have been on the show since the beginning, hey, thanks, man. Aren't you just the most awesomest person ever? This will be very familiar for you as you'll go back to episode number 6, entitled The Art of Being a Heel. That's a serious throwback right there, dude, because when you go back to episode 6, you're talking about September of 2014. But that was based on a piece I wrote at the time as well. And again, I'm big on heels. What exactly are we talking about here? And we'll go to the Camel Clutch blog column first, and we'll just dive right in, shall we? Sounds like a good idea to me. What about you? You got nothing else to do. I mean, right? You clicked on this, you decide to listen to it. You either know me, or you know my work, or you're just bored or something, or maybe you lost a bet. Hey, I'll take whatever hit I can get at this point. No such thing as bad publicity, and no such thing as bad heat. So what are we talking about? What are heels supposed to do? Heels are supposed to cheat. That's it. Heels are supposed to cheat. Baby faces, on the other hand, are supposed to fight back despite how many times the heels cheat. It's the way of things in professional wrestling. It's the way that life is supposed to be, and it's the way that life should be again. And until it is, nothing makes sense. I'll repeat that. Until that's the way it is, nothing makes sense. None of it does. From the curtain jerk to the main event to everything in between, nothing will work if heels are not inherently bad people trying to take the easy way out, and that means they must cheat. But they really don't now. Let's break that down, shall we? If you equate heels to anything in comic books, as I do, because I'm a fanboy and a pro wrestling fan all at the same time, man. I got it all going on. Are you kidding me right now? But if you equate anything of pro wrestling to comic books, then a comic book fan can tell you that a lot of villains don't know that they're villains, okay? What's that quote from Dark Knight? You either see yourself, live long enough to become the villain, right? A lot of villains don't know that they're bad. They don't know that they're inherently bad people. To them, they're doing the absolute right thing. They're doing the best thing for themselves, and they're trying to understand that what they're doing is hurting people. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not talking about, a sociopath or anything of that nature. I'm talking about most villains, not most, but a good number of villains in any medium, I would say, do not understand that they're really doing anything bad or necessarily evil. They believe they're doing the right thing. And that's what makes for a compelling villain. It would be the same thing in pro wrestling. It's a cute analogy, and it's pretty. You can dress it up. You can make it funny. The New Day don't really believe that they're heels. They don't think they're bad people. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it can't work, but in the world of professional wrestling, black is black and black is black and white is white, and that's the way it should be. There shouldn't be any shades of gray. Now, I know what you're telling me right now. You're saying, Tom, brother, this is not how the real world works. Easy for you to say. How dare you sit there and school us on what heels should be? Well, let me just tell you that you're wrong, okay? Because heels, while they could come in every shape and size and age and color and creed and race imaginable, the best of the best heels are the guys who are inherently bad people and women, inherently bad people that are trying to inflict as much damage, collateral or otherwise, as physically, humanly possible. That's what a great heel is. He can talk a good game. He can get it done in the ring. He attacks. He's vicious. He's merciless. He does everything in his power to hurt you. Okay, either to hurt you physically, to hurt you emotionally, to take what you have, whether it's your championship belt, your livelihood, your car, your girl, maybe it's just your gimmick. He's going to do everything in his power to take what you have, okay, your title shot. He wants to take that away from you. He wants to take away your standing in the company. Takes away your livelihood by breaking your leg. See what I'm saying? That's what a heel wants to do. Why? Why would a heel do any of this? Because it's fun? Well, maybe if you're Kane. But a heel, for the most part, would do this because it benefits him in some way. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like the sight of you, man. He wants to take you down. You see what I'm saying? You tick him off. Just your physical presence alone, your existence is enough to drive this guy mad. That great line from Tombstone where Doc is talking to Wyatt, and Wyatt asks him, why is he so mad? And he's like, well, he wants revenge. He says, why does he want revenge? For being born. That's a great heel. Johnny Ringo, great heel. You don't know why he's as murderous as he is. You never get the backstory on Johnny Ringo. And that's what makes him a great heel. He can be a little bit mysterious, but he's bloodthirsty, man. He's very good at what he does. Not good enough in the end. And that's why that story worked, by the way. Get to that a little bit later if you want to. Totally fine with me. That's why it worked in the end, because as great as a heel is, in the end, he has to get his. He can come back to fight another day, but at the end of the story that you're telling, he has to get his. If you're telling a movie, that villain's probably going to have to die in the end. That's how it should be. Again, Tom, that's not real life. You're right, it's not real life. We're not talking about real life. We're talking about pro wrestling. Okay, we're talking about things that don't ordinarily make sense, but that have to make sense for the purpose of you buying into the story and buying a ticket to go see the show live or watching on TV and spending money on merch. That's what a promoter should be concerned about, is how good is creative doing? Are creative pulling people into the building? If the answer is no, then it's not working. And guess what? It's not working in WWE. Nothing makes sense when the heels do not cheat. When they don't cheat, the whole world goes mad. Hence the title of the column. That's the truth. Now, how did we get here? How did we get to the point that we're actually criticizing WWE because the heels no longer break the rules to gain an unfair advantage? More importantly, why? Why did WWE allow it to get this bad? Cheating should be second nature for heels. If you didn't listen, listen now. Cheating should be second nature for heels. It should be the primary game plan, not the backup one. When a pro wrestling antagonist steps through the ropes, he should already be prepared to pull the tights, to strike a low blow when the referee turns his back, or to use an illegal object. Like a master thief orchestrating a major heist, a heel should always be prepared to do what must be done in order to commit the crime. Oh my God, what a romantic notion that is, of a villain actually being villainous instead of playing up to the crowd, which does not work. If you want the guy to truly be hated, he must not play up to the crowd. More on that to come. But that's not really happening anymore. Cheating's not really happening anymore. Instead, we sit back and we complain about the fact that the bad guys are just not bad like they used to be. Yes, it's gotten that ridiculous. Remember the days of Ric Flair using the ropes for leverage? Remember that when he would work Dusty or Ron Garvin or Nikita Koloff or Wahoo McDaniel, whoever it was he was working. Flair did the same shtick quite a bit of the times because he was a heel, and heels do what they do. They try to cheat to win, or they're supposed to. They did back in the day. Remember when Jim Cornette would pull a bag from his pocket and toss powder into the eyes of Animal or Hawk? How about when Ivan Koloff would use the Russian chain while the referee was distracted? Remember when all of that was not only normal, it was expected. Predictability, folks, is not always a bad thing or a bad word. The truth is that fans at one time were conditioned to expect heels to pull every trick in the book to either win or try to win a match. They were conditioned by WWE, by the NWA, by the AWA, by World Class, by Mid-South, by Florida Championship Wrestling. How much time you got? By Stampede Wrestling? How much time you got? Okay? Straight up, dude. ECW. That's what it was. was bad guys were meant to be bad, and they're going to try to cheat to win. They're going to do everything in their power to win the match. And a lot of times it would not be by playing by the rules, because that's boring for a heel. There's no drama. There's no intrigue in that. Not at all. Heels would stoop to any level to get their way, and nothing could stop them. They didn't care about the crowd. They didn't want your applause, and they had very few friends storyline-wise, okay? To be a heel was to be a truly despicable person that had no redeeming qualities and would rather slap you in the face than accept your support. How do you like that? How often does that happen anymore? Can you answer that? No, you can't. Shut up. Been a long time. This was the norm for pro wrestling antagonists. This was the way things were. Okay? You knew which side everybody was on. Those were the days. It was okay to have mystery. It was okay to have face turns and heel turns. We have that now. That's nothing new. But what's new is this big, gigantic shade of gray where the heels they're babying out all the time. The babies can't get a pop to save their life. The Stone Cold effect, which, by the way, if you're curious, was another episode. Dude, I reference all the time. That was episode number 7, actually, the Stone Cold effect, where you had a red hot. Back up. You had a heel. He wasn't red hot. You had a heel who got over as a face, so they turned him face. That's the Stone Cold effect. Okay, the effect of this guy that's his anti-hero, and a lot of guys followed suit. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan followed suit. They're trying to put Roman Reigns into that mold. Dusty was that guy as well. It's not really working for Roman because people don't like him. I'm not one of them. I'm fine with Roman, dude. I'm just telling you how it is. It's not working for him because they're shoving that role upon him and shoving him down our throat like they were in the beginning, which is not a very good idea, and it's going to come back to bite them if it's not biting them right now. But the WWE tends to be an arrogant bunch creatively, and pretty darn stubborn, yo. So they don't tend to listen too awful much to anything you or I or anyone else really has to say. We're buying the tickets and spending money on the merch and watching the TV, so maybe they should. But not going to happen, right? Hadn't happened yet, has it? Probably not going to happen tomorrow. Don't hold your breath too much for today, okay? Because something has happened during this present era. As we said before, something's changed. WWE in particular has been convinced by something or somebody on some level that good versus evil and right versus wrong is just not all that important anymore. Now, instead of heels being the worst, they're baby faces in the making. Isn't that something? How do we get to that point? How do we get to the point where heel's no longer a heel? A heel is, oh, I like him. Let's cheer for him. Really? He wants to see you dead. Any good heel he doesn't care what happens to you, man. At all. Case in point, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt. Love me some Bray Wyatt. I've talked to the guy on Twitter occasionally. I like him in the ring. Love his gimmick. I love everything about Bray Wyatt. WWE showcases Bray as an attraction, a guy that's supposed to be dark and sinister. Can we all agree on that? But what else is happening with him? Michael Cole, JBL, God bless JBL, love me some JBL. I do, straight up. But the commentary team as a whole keep putting over Bray's fans, the Fireflies, remember? Instead of asking the most important question, why? Why would such a deeply disturbed character like Bray Wyatt even have fans in the first place? Why would WWE insist on mentioning his fans and mentioning his popularity as if he's to be liked and supported when he could easily become the top heel on the roster? It's like they're encouraging you at home to like him. You're not supposed to like him. You're supposed to despise Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's supposed to despise you, and he pretty well does. He does a good job. But you don't hate him. Why? Because you love him. He's popular. You love him so much, you want to kiss him. Well, maybe you don't want to kiss him. But I'm just saying, you shouldn't like the guy at all. He should be, if he's the enemy of your favorite babyface, then he's your enemy. See what I'm saying? The enemy of my friend is my enemy, right? I don't know if that's been written, but it should be, because it's the truth. And even the dog barking in the background's got to agree with that one. Come on now. You know I'm right, don't you? I mean, Bray's supposed to be heel. Why? Why in the world does WWE keep putting him over like he's babyface? Makes no sense. Know what else doesn't make sense? Kevin Owens is an old school heel because why? He's a brawler and he has no fear and doesn't care about anyone but himself. Anytime the crowd has cheered for him, he's throwing it back in their face. Good for you, Kevin. I love you for doing that. But when he enters the ring, what does he do? He hits all four sides of the ring as if he's playing up to the crowd, seeking their approval. Why would Kevin Owens care about whether or not you're cheering for him if he hates your guts? He shouldn't. When Randy Orton is heel, he gets up in the corner, does that perch in the corner, and does that real slow, methodical, throwing his arms up because it's what he does. But the whole time I'm thinking, don't try to get me to pop for you. I can't stand you. You see what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it's there for, is to elicit the boos. But in my opinion, it's like he's playing it to the crowd. I just don't understand why. Both guys, and let me back up for just a moment here. Both guys, I'm talking about Bray and Kevin. Both guys are very good at what they do, and both guys deserve the top spots. Why? Because of their ability. They can both get over. They're both good hands. They both can talk a streak. But both guys are heel, yet fans have more respect for them than they really should. Fans shouldn't respect Kevin Owens or Bray Wyatt, dude. Not at all. They should be reviled for who they are, and they're just not. Here's a phrase that you've heard or said, and if you've said it, I'm ashamed of you. If you've heard it, you're not the only one. Get ready. Quote, Seth Rollins needs to start winning matches cleanly, unquote. How many times did we hear that one? 100? 1,000? The hilarity that ensued, and there was a bunch of it, a lot of it for me, it couldn't stop laughing, that ensued during those debates was beyond belief. Seth Rollins needs to start winning matches cleanly. Why? Why exactly? He's a heel. Better yet, he was the top heel. He was the best of them all, and he drew more heat than anyone on the card. Yet every time you turned around, someone was complaining, Seth lost. Or he won by cheating. He's a heel, man. Are you high? Are you high right now? Because that's ridiculous. A cheating Seth Rollins was a despised Seth Rollins. Taking every shortcut imaginable was what he did best. Being the sniveling, conniving, egotistical jerk was his niche. Fans were upset he wasn't winning matches. He's a heel. You shouldn't want him to win matches. You're concerned about his standing in the company. You're concerned about who he is as a talent. Why do you care? You're supposed to hate him. Stop being so smart. Seriously, some of us have to be smart. I'm paid to write this stuff, man. And, I mean, I love to do it. Don't misunderstand me. It's my passion. You got that, right? Geez, I'm doing a podcast. You're not even getting charged for this. You must know I love doing what I'm doing, right? This is my gig. But let's all take a step back and remember we're supposed to be having fun with this, man. Okay? Fans were not supposed to want to see Seth Rollins win without cheating. They were supposed to not want to see him win at all. You got that? He was the villain, and fans cared more about his standing than seeing him beaten. What's the answer? We're too smart now. I asked you that. I'm telling you that. We're too smart now. We care more about being smart rather than being entertained. The blame, who does the blame go to? Do you take blame? Do we all take a little bit of it? Or should we just throw it back on WWE? Why? Because the result of our nonchalant attitudes towards hating heels, it has a lot to do with how WWE has handled the concept and presented them to us. Again, we go back to what we said about Bray. He's presented as a babyface on commentary. They put over the fact that he has fans. What's this attraction he has to fans? What's going on here? Why are you even talking about it? I'll tell you right now, John, I don't know why these people cheer for Bray Wyatt, but there's nothing to cheer for. This guy is despicable. They never talk about that, right? Number one, your actions should show that, and they don't really, because they don't have Bray do that kind of stuff for whatever reason. I would have Bray seriously stalk guys. I mean, he kind of does that when he enters into a program with someone. I'm talking about following them around. Remember when DDP, they had DDP doing that stalker thing where he was stalking Undertaker's wife? Great bit of TV right there. It kind of fizzled out after DDP had the reveal because they didn't really do much with it. But man, at the time, it was red hot, right? Just red hot. It was good stuff. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I mean, it was good TV at the time for me. But that's sort of how I'm going with that right now. Okay? We're too smart. We're too smart to have fun with it, like a lot of other things in pro wrestling, man. But the company, again, put some of the blame on the company's shoulders, is where it should be. Pro wrestlers are sports entertainers in WWE. Were you born yesterday? You know that, right? And it's way too late to argue the point. Can we agree on that? The truth is, this fact about sports entertainers instead of pro wrestling has finally taken its toll. The company has conditioned the fans not to suspend their disbelief of reality, but instead to accept it's all a big work. Heels are supposed to cheat. We said that. You believe it, right? I wrote it. Here's the problem. They really don't cheat now. Doesn't that suck? It's not just that heels aren't doing what they should be doing to get over. I want you to understand something. And I will tell you this from my perspective, and maybe no one else has the same point of view, but when I was in the business, it was a lot harder for me to be a baby face than to be a heel. And some people might give you the opposite of that. But as a baby face, all I had to do was come out, shake hands, give high fives. When I cut a promo, I encouraged the crowd, and I complimented the crowd, and I said, this is the best crowd ever. And when I was playing the role of general manager, or it was commissioner, excuse me, Commissioner Bishop, that was me. Kind of an odd name, but Bishop was my wrestling name, by the way. I was pretty happy with that. What do you guys think? It's cool, right? To this day, if I find something with Bishop, with the Marvel Comics character, I'll pick it up. Just for the sake of the name or whatever. You know what I mean? By the way, I look nothing like Bishop from Marvel Comics, just so you know. I'm not, 7 foot tall and African American. I'm 6'3" and the best looking white guy you've ever seen. That part's a joke. But when I was in it, I had a lot easier time getting over as a babyface. What I had I had a harder time getting over as a babyface. And you know what? Oh, geez, dude. I look back on it now. Number one, I miss those days quite a bit. But it was easy for me to be a heel. The hard thing is to get over. Let's go all of that what we're talking about now, and let's put it into one nice, neat little bundle. If you can stay with me here, folks. It can be hard either way, depending on who you are. The train of thought for some people, okay, is that being a babyface is harder because you have to encourage a crowd of whether it's 100 people or 100,000 people that you're a good guy, that you're worth their time, you're worth their cheers. Anybody can come out from a jobber working a dark match you've never heard of to the top heel in the company. That guy has an easy time getting over as a heel. You want to know why? Because all they got to do is come out, flip you off, or run you down. I hate this stinking town. And you sort of have you've set the bar for who you're supposed to be. But if you ever see a dark match with two guys that they're like local boys that you don't know who they are, and neither one of them do anything except walk down the ramp and get in the ring, and you don't know who they are until they announce the name, and then the guy will like, oh, shut up, or they'll just clap their hands and give thumbs up to the crowd. That's when you find out who's supposed to be heel and supposed to be face. What a tragedy, man. You should be working that crowd. What was like Jake Roberts said, work the crowd from the moment you go through the curtain and before. Get yourself prepped and ready. The moment you go through the curtain, you've got that crowd ready. Your eye contact is there. You've got that look. The intensity's on your face. You're playing up to the crowd, or you're cursing the crowd, whatever it is you're supposed to be doing, man. And you're making it very obvious to everyone in attendance that night and everyone watching on TV at home who you are and what you're supposed to be. And that's what the whole deal is. And a lot of these guys aren't doing that anymore. One of the things I'm upset about as a pro wrestling fan and as a pro wrestling writer, if I'm being honest with you, is the fact that a lot of guys no longer work the crowd. They hit the ramp. They just live off of who they are as a name. There's promos, there's vignettes, and all this backstage stuff, and commercials, and magazines, and all this other stuff to convince you that you should love or hate them. So a lot of their work has been done for them. To that I say poppycock. And it's a big deal when I break out the P word, right? It is. It's a big deal because you should be working the moment you hit the ramp. That person, if they've never seen you in their life, should know whether they're supposed to love or hate you from the moment you hit that ramp and take one look at them. That is what it's supposed to be. That's the way it's been for 100 years in pro wrestling and longer, and that's the way it should be now. But guess what? Newsflash, it's not that way now. You want to know why? Because everybody in WWE Creative thinks they got it all worked out. And guess what? They don't, folks. Case in point of what we're talking about here right now. And this is not, you know what? Let me preface what I'm going to say with this. I don't blame Sheamus. A lot of people are because they hate him. They think he sucks. I don't. I like Sheamus just fine. Sheamus is new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, in case you've been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks. He's also the latest heel to climb the ladder of the company. That fact alone has made people crazy. The fact that he's WWE's best man for the job in the moment which is what he was in the moment, okay, doesn't make many fans very happy, and the fact that he's endorsed by the authority isn't helping matters very much at all. Why not? Sheamus is a good heel, not a great heel. Why is that? That's his fault? No. They made him appear silly and goofy and stupid. They gave him a look that instantly gets heat, but doesn't get heat the way a lot of fans think it should, because he's not hated. People are annoyed by Sheamus. Okay? Is that Sheamus' fault? I say no. I say Sheamus is doing the best he can with what he has, and I think he's over as a heel in a lot of respects. A lot of other people would vehemently disagree with me and call me ridiculous, and that's okay, man, because you know what? Free country, man. Have your own opinion. Roll with it. What I'm telling you is I like Sheamus. Always have, always will. I think he's a good brawler. I think he could potentially get over as a top heel. He ain't top heel right now. And the fact is he probably won't be because fans won't give him that opportunity. And creative won't book him the way they need to. Okay? And here's the part number 3 of that sucks for everybody involved. Because fans have seen this move before. The whole Sheamus cashing in, screwing over Roman Reigns, Triple H having a hand in it. It's happened with Seth Rollins' ascension as Triple H's right-hand man, and we're seeing it again. But here's the problem. This is less about repetition than it is, and it is about repetition, don't be mistaken, than it is WWE's lack of balance between its heels and baby faces. Now, does it make sense on paper? My answer is yes. The scenario makes perfect sense on paper. The company had a hole to fill from Seth Rollins' departure, filling it with a heel because Seth was a heel, duh. All right, but filling it with another heel seemed to be the right move. And though Sheamus is arguably not the heat-seeking heel that Rollins was, we can all agree on that, right? Someone had to take the spot. Someone had to do it. Someone had to do it, all right? But the way in which the spot was taken has left a bad taste in the mouths of many fans. Let me ask you this question. Think about this long and hard before you answer. Why go this route again? Why repeat the same storyline that led Rollins to the championship at WrestleMania 31 and led Randy Orton to the championship? Let's don't forget that. At SummerSlam 2013, everybody's talking about the Rollins thing. No one's talking about the Orton thing at SummerSlam 2013. Okay? Daniel Bryan was the man left for dead that year after he beat John Cena, remember? And his title dreams were stolen from him thanks to who? Triple H and his master plan. Isn't that what we're looking at right now? Straight up. That night marked the birth of the Authority. The Authority was born in 2013. Did you hear what I said? They were born in 2013. My God in heaven. 2 years later, they're still going strong. Has there been a heel faction on top for 2 years or better? And I'm the original Horsemen, I don't believe, lasted 2 straight years. The original NWO didn't last 2 straight years, or did they? Go do your research, man. Go hit Wikipedia and I'll wait for you. I mean, I got to tell you everything? Come on now, you got a smartphone, don't even play. But for my money, this is the longest running heel faction. And you know what? They show no signs of breaking down, man. Not at all, okay? 2 years are still going strong. And that's the problem. That's the problem in case you're wondering. Tom, what's the problem? That's the problem. That's the issue. For many fans, in terms of the overall balance of the company, the advantage always, always, always seems to be in the heel's corner. That it does, straight up, man. Despite how much the protagonists fight for what's right, and yes, for their right to party, they never seem to make any headway. Ever, ever, ever. Can I say that again? Ever. Daniel Bryan eventually overcame the tremendous obstacles thrown at him en route to his WrestleMania 30 win for the championship belt. He not only defeated Orton and Triple H's longtime friend Bautista, he also beat the game himself in the middle of the ring. Do you remember that happening? Because no one else does. He beat Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista in the same night. And guess what that got him? Nothing. Why? The Raw after that Mania should have been a celebration for Bryan, the likes of which the company had not seen in a long time. I'm talking ticker tape. I'm talking all the guys coming out that the Authority ever screwed over and shaking Bryan's hand and giving him a high five and bumping fists, bumping chest, the whole nine. He should have been carried on their shoulders like the king, okay? That crowd should have been a standing ovation, which they were, okay? And it should have been massive. Battling back the Authority should have toppled that group straight up, destroying it from the inside out. It should have been Triple H comes out furious that Batista and Randy Orton could get the job done. They politely point out how Triple H couldn't get the job done. Next thing you know, they're coming to blows. Okay, and the whole thing completely falls apart. The Authority should have been ripped to shreds that night with Stephanie trying to play referee, and she accidentally gets knocked down by one of them, okay? Suddenly, it's chaos and turmoil and chaos and catastrophe on an epic scale. We're talking mega earthquake, man, level 10. An F5, finger of God kind of freaking tornado, dude. And guess what happened? None of it happened. They stayed strong. They stayed together. And when Brian went out with injury, they were still together, still ruling and running the roost and running the show. Isn't that something? Isn't that ridiculous? I thought so then. I think so now. I'm probably going to think that way tomorrow. It did not happen. Daniel Bryan cannot get the job done. Nonsense, I say, nonsense. Sting. Let's go down this road, shall we, since you asked me. Sting, the legendary Sting, remind you. Sting himself even took a shot at the Authority. The industry legend debuted at Survivor Series 2014. Great debut, by the way. Cost the Authority a massive victory while also giving John Cena's team the win. Remember that? That storyline led to Sting's match with Triple H at WrestleMania 31, in which the Cerebral Assassin won. Tell me again why Sting was brought in only to lose a match at WrestleMania 31. Do you know? Love to hear it. Love to hear it. You don't know. Shut up. Sorry, that was a bit harsh. I don't know either. Let's just all be clueless together, shall we? The months of mind games and vengeance that Sting handed out, and the times he would show up, and there was the Crow, and there was all this other stuff. He handed it out. He was there. Just his presence was enough to mess with you. Guess what? It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. In the end, it meant nothing. Just like Daniel Bryan's win, WrestleMania 30 meant nothing. Not only did Triple H win the match at WrestleMania, he even came out later that night during a spot with Stephanie McMahon, The Rock, and Ronda Rousey. Can you believe that? Triple H's match with Sting had already become barely a footnote in WrestleMania history. He was out, wasn't even holding his neck, he didn't even limp down the ramp, he wasn't even selling the match. He sold it like Sting never laid a hand on him. And by the way, why does WWE insist on hanging up this banner saying, "Hey guys, it's all choreographed, it's all pre-written, nothing what you're seeing is 100% real, this is not genuine athletic competition"? I mean, dude, I might be a little old, but I'm not stupid. And you might be a little young, but I'm pretty sure you're not stupid either. This is ridiculous on a level of ridiculousness that maybe we've never seen before. We have a pro wrestling company talking down to us as if we don't know it's all a work. We got it. We're not stupid. We don't need you to tell us. Don't remind us every day of the week and twice on Sunday. We're watching is choreographed. We're watching is not actually taking place. Don't remind me. I'm sick of it. I can't stand it anymore, dude. Please save it. Tell it to somebody else that cares because, dude, no one that I know of doesn't know that it's a work at this point. Stop advertising it. You're making me crazy, man. I don't need it advertised. When I go see a movie, I don't need the show's producer, or the movie's producers, to come on in a tape segment before the movie starts and look at me and break the fourth wall and say, "What you're getting ready to watch is not real. This is just entertainment. That's all it is. We think you want more out of your movie, so by God, here's a great movie, and we're all just acting. No one's really getting hurt. Take care, bye-bye." Really? I don't need that. All right? I know that Tom Cruise isn't really, kicking some guy's butt on screen. I'm aware of that. I know the Avengers aren't really killing it, or not killing. The Avengers don't kill, do they? Boy, imagine if that movie would have come out. Of course, it's not DC we're talking about. Superman's the guy that killed somebody. You got a problem with Superman killing General Zod? I know it's off the cuff. It's sort of off topic, way off topic, actually. I got a big problem with it. This is why you should listen to the second show if we ever get the darn thing going. And when we do, you'll be the first one to know, okay? Where the heck was I? Are you guys keeping notes? Someone keep me on task here, for crying out loud. Are you kidding me right now? Sorry, dude. But that's what we're talking about here, man. Is that I don't need to be told up front it's not real. I got it. I'm not stupid. All right, quit letting the cat out of the bag. Just let me believe for a change. Stop spoon feeding me like I'm a child. I got a 7-year-old that's smarter than this, man. Okay? He's not stupid at all. But dude, they spoon feed this stuff to me as if I'm not aware. I don't know that it's a work. I don't know anything at all. Are you kidding me right now? I'm not an idiot. I got it. It's a work. I got it. I understand. Stop it. But they have to consistently tell me and remind me all the time. They remind me a lot of times by the terrible booking that goes on. Oh, geez, dude, you got a better way to tell me than that? Here's an idea. Don't tell me at all, okay? Case in point, segue. The Authority's current storyline with Roman Reigns. It's going down the same road that nearly everyone that's been run with that company, with that gimmick, has been taken so far. It's nonsense. That's how you're telling me it's not real. You're running the same exact shtick you ran before. The hero challenges the evil corporate leadership. He fights valiantly, but though he wins some battles, he cannot win the war. You know who came up with that? WWE came up with that, dude. WWE did. NWA didn't come up with that. AWA, World Class, Mid-South, Stampede Wrestling, Florida Championship Wrestling. No one came up with that except WWE. Not only did they come up with it, they still run it. They run it to the ground. They think because it worked in that attitude area, it needs to work today. Stop putting a heel corporate authority person in power all the time. I don't need it. I don't need it at all. All due respect to John Laurinaitis, Vicky Guerrero, Tay Long when he turned heel. All due respect to all heels that have ever run a general manager or a commissioner or a vice president or president of this, that, or whatever. Enough is enough is enough is enough. Stop, 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 stop. This is Vince McMahon's idea of entertaining us. It's not working. You know how I know it's not working? Ratings, baby, ratings. Go check. Did you hear me? Ratings. Go check, dude. Go check. It's not working, man, at all. Stop spoon-feeding me this because I don't need you to. I know it's a work. Stop advertising it to me, man. You're killing me with this, Smalls. You're killing me. Okay? The authority comes back stronger than ever before. Every time you challenge them, they knock you down. They take you out. They steal your car. I mean, they do everything to you, man. They cheat on your girl. They do everything they can to ruin your day, man. Straight up. That's what and who they are. And it works. It works every time. It happens every time. It's so crazy frustrating. Heels do traditionally drive the storylines. I want that. You want that. We all want that. It's true. If the heels aren't at the backbone of the storylines for your company, you're doing it wrong. The focus can't be primarily on the babyface and how great he is if he has no threats. Okay? I don't care how many of you right now grew up with WWF. By the way, I didn't. Just so you know, you grew up with WWF. You're a Hulk Hogan guy from now till death. You know what? Go with God. God bless you. And all that other stuff. And praise be to him. But, dude, you can't look back on that era and tell me that it was a great era in terms of being smart. It was not smart at all. WWF knew they had a winner in Hulk Hogan. They knew they were seeing dollar signs making money hand over fist with this dude. They did not do anything to challenge him. Every heel they fed to him was defeated, okay? There's only a couple of guys that could actually say they went over on Hogan during that time. Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, okay? Undertaker. Brock Lesnar down the road. Right? But honestly, I'm talking about during his prime. No one could touch him. What's wrong with that? Not a thing, dude. He's top guy. But you need someone to be relevant, to be credible. Roddy Piper should have beat Hulk Hogan at some point, won the belt. I don't care if it was for 2 weeks, man. Doesn't make a difference to me. You should have had a guy. He was dangerous, but not dangerous enough. Okay? So heels traditionally drive the storylines. You have to want to hate a guy and see a guy get took out to appreciate the guy that's trying to take him out. Okay, you're not going to care for the babyface if there's not a villain or a heel for him to fight in the first place, man. That's how all this works. It's not traditional that heels never lose all the time. The saying when I was in the business is the same thing I feel about it now. All right, are you ready for this? A heel never wins and a baby never loses. Do you understand? And I'm going to break this down for you. Am I talking about every night? Of course not. Okay, heel has to win matches. Totally fine. But I'm saying heel never wins in terms of the overall storyline, and a baby never loses because you have to have that constant ebb and flow, that constant give and take. Because at the end of the day, when everything's all wrapped up, who won the last match on Nitro? The baby face won. Okay? Now, you can call that Ric Flair doing the honors to Sting out of mutual respect. Sting, because he was the face of that company, everybody and their brother agreed and said Sting should be the guy going over. Ric Flair was the face of the NWA, not necessarily WCW. Sting should have won the last match. But, dude, it ties up all the loose ends for that company, man. Understand this. The babyface needs to win in the end. How many movies have you went to see? How many TV shows do you watch on a regular basis where the villain wins in the end? They don't happen that often. You want to know why? People don't want that. I don't care who says they do. They're lying to you, man. Seriously, at the end of the day, good must triumph over evil. We're a very religious society, right? I hate to go there, but it's being straight with you. Very spiritual in a lot of regards. The devil versus God and all that other stuff. Whether or not you subscribe to that or not, totally up to you, man. I'm not preaching to you at all, dude. Do whatever you want to do. Fine with me. Be like Punk and don't believe in any of that crap. It doesn't. Whatever, man. Whatever you want to go with is fine. But you cannot deny to me that there's right versus wrong and good versus evil. It's out there every day. Read the newspapers, man. Go to Twitter and look at the headlines from this past week. My God, dude. There's terrible stuff happening all the time. Seriously. Right versus wrong, good versus evil. Okay, the heels never win, the babies never lose. That's how it should be. Okay, that's the overall storyline perspective that we're coming at you from right now. Again, it's how I was trained. It's how I was taught. It's what I believe to this very day. And if you're a pro wrestling booker worth his salt, then you know that and believe that and subscribe to that yourself at this very moment. Okay, but we're talking about on a day-to-day level. We're talking about small battles. We're talking about, at the end of the day, the authority always wins. It doesn't make any sense. They're the number one heel organization in that company, and they win every stinking time. The baby faces can hope to eke out a win or two here and there, small battles, but they never win the war. Why? Where's the payoff, man? Okay, the story of the hero on the ropes fighting overwhelming odds is an intriguing one and will likely always be told. It makes for interesting drama and lifts the protagonist up, drawing fans in and making for a big payoff. But when that payoff leads to more of the same, what's the point? What's the point? The authority comes back stronger than ever before, constantly in full control of the company and everyone in it. And it happens every stinking time. It never ends. This isn't about hate towards Stephanie and Triple H on a personal level. This is about hate towards the fact that WWE has got it in their heads, whether it's Vince or his creative guys or a combination of both or whatever it is, that evil must be and rule all the time. Well, they're not always evil. Stephanie McMahon's Twitter bio says she plays a heel on TV. You want to know why? Because they're spoon-feeding you again. They're belittling you again. They're making you feel small again. It's what they do. Okay? They got to remind you and your mom and your brother and your sister and your dad and your wife and your husband, everybody involved, and your dog and your cat, and everybody listening. In fact, the entire freaking planet at this point. Hey, guys, this is not junior athletic competition. We're just playing, and we just wear tights, and I'm not really bad. Look at me smile with the cancer kids. See? Now, I'm sorry if that's harsh, but it's the truth. I don't need to see heels with the cancer kids. God bless them all. I got a 7-year-old. God forbid. God forbid. You know where I'm going with that? Okay? Love my kid to death. I do. Swear to God. But I don't need to see the heels with them. I know the heels aren't genuinely bad people. I understand. I don't need to see them signing autographs, being polite on Twitter, having nice conversations with fans. Hey, thanks for your support. And then the next night on Raw, they're telling you to, suck it or whatever it is they're telling them. Go take a hike. I don't know what they're saying. It's PG, man. What are you going to say to somebody now? But you see where I'm coming from? I don't need that. Don't advertise. Don't do that to me, man. I mean, seriously, you have a role to play. Play it. Live it. Breathe it. Eat it. Smoke it. Whatever. Snort it. Whatever you're going to do. Do it to the fullest. The Bella Twins. Stop it. They're babyface today. You know what I'm saying? Well, right now, give it 10 minutes, they'll change. This is the most ridiculous, redonkulous, depending on what kind of stupid term you want to use. It's nonsense, folks. Nonsense. I want my heels to be evil. I want them to cheat to win. That's what I want. Heels are supposed to cheat to win. They're not cheating anymore. We said that. Was you not listening? Okay? They're not doing enough. Now, is it their fault or is it WWE's fault? Or is it a combination of both? You tell me. Tell me. We'll both know. But something has got to change, man, because this stuff's killing me. WWE wants a heel on top. They want a heel on top and heels in control. From Vince McMahon as Mr. McMahon, working with The Rock, remember that? Down to Vicky Guerrero working with Edge. The same formula has been used for years ad nauseum. Stop it. You're making me want to vomit. Whether it's Stone Cold fighting back or John Cena wearing the S on his chest, the top babyface always plays his part while the company continues to reuse and recycle, reuse and recycle, reuse and recycle. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. The song remains the same. Forever remains the same for that company. That's why people are upset. That's why I'm talking at 100 miles an hour and writing about this stuff 8 days a week, because I'm upset, I'm frustrated. I just smile and laugh and shake my head, because if you don't laugh, you'll cry, man. You know what I'm saying? The same routine all the time has taken its toll. It's not realistic to see baby faces always in full control with no problems. It's also not realistic to see heels continuously bounce back despite what's being done to them. Are you serious right now? You always bounce back. You're not a resilient babyface with crowd support. You're a heel, for crying out loud. Evil never has its day in WWE, and that's a crying shame that it's not working out. They won't allow it to work out. There's no balance between the two sides, all right? Not only are heels not cheating, there's no balance between good and evil in WWE. It's gotten so bad that the lines distinguishing them have become so blurry, they've all but disappeared. And like we said before, were you listening about Bray Wyatt? He's showcased as a heel, but his entrance is a babyface entrance. There's fans lighting up the cell phones and stuff. They got the board of lights behind his underneath the Titantron. A lot of fans want to see him turn, but WWE curiously seems to be against it. King Barrett has played up to the crowd. Cesaro, when he was heel, played up to the crowd. And again, the Bella Twins, what are they right now? You don't know. No one knows. Fans need heroes to cheer for and villains to hate, and that's it. Heroes to cheer for and villains to hate, and that's it. Every time the sides are crossed, and every time the typical heel agenda, oh, we can't be beaten. Here's Stephanie, here's Triple H. Oh, she's smiling. She's smiling. She's saying yes. She's the only one still chanting yes. She chanted it when Daniel was getting beaten down. She chanted it when Daniel won the belt. When Daniel went out for surgery, she made fun of him. She makes fun of him now. Don't talk to me right now. I don't care if you're Stephanie. Don't care if Triple H. Don't talk to me right now about how I love Brian. He's my guy. We get along so great. You know, we keep in touch. We text. I don't care if you're Stephanie. I don't care if Triple H. I don't care if you're their kids. I don't care if you're Vince McMahon. I don't care if you're Linda McMahon or Shane McMahon or the McMahon family parakeet. I don't care who you are. Don't sit there and tell me we love Brian. He's an asset. Oh, I hope he can come back. We love him. He's such a valued. Shut up. You mock him all the time. Now, does Brian care? Maybe not. He lets on like he doesn't care, and it's okay. Here's the issue with what the guys in the locker room think versus what we think. You want to know a secret? Come closer. Turn the volume up if you need to. Here it is. It doesn't matter what they think, okay? In all due respect, it matters what we think. You want to know why? Because it's the appearance that means everything, okay? Did Dusty Rhodes think he was selling out when he wore polka dots? Probably not. Did Vince McMahon think he was Vince McMahon up to evil? I don't know if he was or not. I can't speak for him. Did the guys around Dusty, were they shaking his head? Or were they saying, you know, Dusty's the man. He can make this work. He's entertaining. He's fun. He's rambunctious. He's loving life. He's awesome. He can get over no matter what situation he's put in. He's having fun. Look at him dancing. He's the man. We love Dusty. He's awesome. Big Dust, we love you. Guess what the fans saw? Nonsense. Guess what the fans say today? That never should have happened. Not all of them, but the majority of us are saying that was embarrassment. It was degrading. It was insulting him as the top guy in NWA. One of the top, him and Flair. See what I'm saying? He was Jim Crockett's guy. And Vince knew that, so he put him in polka dots. And Dusty's story was that Vince is like, look, don't you want to just have fun? You don't want the added stress of all those stuff you had to put up with in WCW and NWA. Why don't you just have some fun since you're here? Let's just have fun with it. Here, wear these polka dots. You see what I'm saying? But to any fan that knows what they're talking about and was around during that era, or even just watches tapes and is familiar with Dusty as a performer, can tell you that was ridiculous, man. It's embarrassing. Okay? This is what's going to be said about Daniel if and when he comes back, if and when he's forced to retire and go somewhere else, is the way they behave toward him toward the latter half of his career, constantly mocking him. She does the yes chant right now. She has fun with it. Stop. You're not doing, there's nothing to accomplish. No payoff when the guy can't come back. Do you see what I'm saying to you right now? And there's ultimately no payoff with the top heel organization comprised of people who are non-wrestlers. There's no payoff with Stephanie McMahon. There's no payoff with Triple H. You can have a payoff at WrestleMania. That's it. There's no payoff through the year. There's not going to be an impromptu match with Triple H versus whoever on Monday Night Raw. Well, know why? No money in it. Okay? It's not going to happen. And it shouldn't happen. All due respect. I'm not saying stop it. But what I'm saying is enough's enough. The jury's out on what the fan reaction is going to be, ultimately be in the long run, on the whole Daniel Bryan and the authority and all that garbage. But man, from me to you, I think it's going to be negative. I think it's going to be looked at as a down point for him and a point where WWE could have pulled back and they chose not to for whatever reason. They keep hammering home that Daniel just didn't have it, right? He just didn't have it. He just didn't have what it took to be there. Stop it. I can't believe they're not still talking about it on TV. I'm shocked they're not. They talked about it for a month after he left. I mean, enough's enough, man. You know what I'm saying? Enough's enough. Let it go. The rest of us have, but that's what you get. When you have heels in power, the same heels all the time, eventually you get out of stuff to talk about. You got to get over somehow. You got to get heat somehow. So that's what they do. They pick on the favorite that you love, and you want to see him come back, they're going to pick on him. And you can be rest assured of one thing. If he does manage to come back, they're going to go after him full throttle like they did before. It's going to be Daniel Bryan versus The Authority Part 2. Dude, do you want that? Really? Do you want that? I love Daniel Bryan. I do, straight up. I don't know if I want to see that again, man. Because, I mean, honestly, like I said before, The Authority should have been put down to begin with. I mean, think about it. There's no resistance. There's not enough resistance to put The Authority down. Good versus evil and right versus wrong, as we said before, those are professional wrestling concepts. In terms of what we're talking about, they're real world concepts as well. I mean, let's all be real. But professional wrestling, in terms of professional wrestling, those concepts have worked for years. For years, man. Switching sides with no explanation while the leadership structure is not fan-friendly and is seemingly bent on world domination, that's WWE's concepts, and they're not working. They worked with Mr. McMahon versus Stone Cold. They haven't worked, arguably, since then. WWE is still a pro wrestling company. Did you hear that, WWE employees? Listen up. It's a good one. WWE is still a pro wrestling company, despite the sports entertainment presentation. And when concepts that fans want are not used, everything falls apart. WWE is at its best when they're using the time-honored concepts that have worked for 150 years in pro wrestling, man. That's when they're at their best. Until the company decides to get back to basics and take this thing all the way down to 1 + 1 = 2, then things may never be completely right again. Not gonna happen, dude. I mean, seriously, you're taking simple addition and you're trying to make trigonometry out of it. You can't. Stop it. Just knock it off. It's not meant to be that way. Pro wrestling, in my estimation, is the one true American art form. I've said that 100 times. I'll say it 100 more. I really, truly believe that. It's American theater. In my opinion, it really is. Okay? But at the end of the day, it's two guys who have a problem with each other who are going to settle their differences with a physical conflict in which you get to cheer for who you want to win or lose. Okay? It's Roman gladiator fighting at its best. And it's ridiculous storytelling at its worst. Okay? But at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's very, very simple. Don't try to make something hard out of something simple. It's not meant to be that, man. Okay? Seriously. I mean, that's what that company is trying to do, and there's just no point in it. Boil this thing down to its bare essentials. Get back to what works. Something else I learned when I got in the business, the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? You got a match, and there's 4 or 5 guys involved. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Put this guy here, put that guy here. You 2 guys get in the ring. Here's the finish. Take it home. Boom. Match over. Get a pop. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. Stop trying to make this into something it's not, or trying to make it harder than it should be. There's no point in it. Heels no longer cheat. They're supposed to cheat. Heels should cheat to win. Did you hear me say the word cheat? Cheat, 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 cheat. Heels should cheat to win, dude. That's it. They have to. And if they don't, they're not doing it right. Don't sit there and tell me Seth Rollins should be winning matches cleanly. Screw you, man. Seth Rollins is a heel. If he's not cheating to win, he's doing it wrong. See what I'm saying? You should try to, if you're a heel, take every unfair advantage on the planet to get the win. I'm serious, dude. If you don't, you are doing life wrong in the world of professional wrestling. Don't sit there and tell me that a heel has to go over cleanly. You have lost your ever-loving mind, and you're taking me down with you. Well, I'm not going to go down with you. I'm not dumb enough to go down with you. Stop it. And if you're WWE, stop it. You want to know why this isn't working for WWE? Not only has the star power dwindled because all their guys are on the top or on the shelf right now, but because they're just talking to you like you're a bunch of morons. Folks, don't be a bunch of morons. I'm not. Please don't be either. Just get in there and just have fun with it and understand that what you're seeing does not have to be that hard. Pro wrestling should not be hard. It should be fun, fun, fun all the time. Dude, I was involved in shows where the sound system crapped out. We had no music, had no mic time. You know who cared? No one. Just go have matches, man. Tell your story in the ring. Get it done in the ring, on the faces of the guys. The emotions that they have, the intensity, the heart, the passion they bring, the soul they bring to their matches. These guys and gals, a lot of them wanted to do this since they were kids. Let them have those moments. Let them get in there and prove to you that they deserve your time and attention, that they're worthy of your time and attention. Stop making this so extremely hard, man. It doesn't have to be hard. It never had to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard today. It doesn't have to be hard tomorrow. WWE insists on making it hard. It's a convoluted concept, convoluted story that they're telling when the heels are not cheating, when the heels aren't trying to win by any means necessary, when the heels are not Malcolm X to the nth degree, okay? But they're Martin Luther King, or they're Malcolm X light. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, we'll cheat a little bit, but we want you to love us. What? No. I'm not saying, no, what? Who? Where? Where'd that come from? I shouldn't want King Barrett to win a match. I shouldn't want Sheamus to win a match. I shouldn't want Rusev or Alberto Del Rio to win a match, folks. The League of Nations, I love the idea. I hope it gets over. Will it? I don't know. Some people are bagging on it already. I'm good with it. I say stick with it until they prove they can't get it over. Give them a chance first, man. But don't sit there and start saying that they need to start winning clean, because I don't want to hear it. These are 4 heels. Cheat, and cheat some more, man. Okay? Seriously, go full throttle. I hope neither of the 4 of them ever win a match clean. I say they pull tights every time. And I say that the 3 of them accompany one guy to the ring every time, with the exception of Sheamus. I'm always a firm believer you got to protect your champion. And I don't think that putting your champion on TV 24/7 is the way to protect him. I think that you keep him in a suit, put Sheamus back in that suit, and put that belt over his shoulder, let the other 3 guys walk him out to the ring. Okay? You've already got 2 titles. I mean, honestly. I say put the tag belts on the other 2 as well. I mean, straight up. Really. And I'm not even playing about that, man. I'm not even playing. You think I'm playing? I ain't playing about that, dude. Come on now. Come on. Who's playing about it? Not me. Not I, said the cat. I say put the belts on them. Seriously. Give the tag belts in the League of Nations, man. I would do it in a heartbeat. You kidding me right now? I mean, you got Del Rio's United States champion. You got Sheamus, the WWE World Heavyweight champion, right? Think about that. I mean, dude, there's a possibility of this thing getting over like gangbusters, man. I think it has a possibility to do it. I mean, whether or not it will, who's to say? But I say put the tag belts on Rusev and Wade Barrett. Crazy combination, huh? I've seen crazier. They all said Kane and Daniel Bryan wouldn't work out. I said it. But then I saw them. I said it for half a second. Then I saw them. I said, oh, God, this is magic. What have they stumbled onto here? This is a money-making deal right here. I'm not suggesting League of Nations is going to be like that. But give them the opportunity, man. Go out there and heel out every day. Every day, heel out like crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's what I want. What do you want? Don't you want your heels to cheat? I do. Have you had fun? Can you tell I'm wrapping it up? I usually end this thing with a question or so, and then tell you I want your feedback. Well, I'm not going to disappoint you. I'm going to do the same thing right now. I want your feedback, man. Tell me what you think. Follow me on Twitter at TomClarkBR. Drop me an email, TomClarkBR@yahoo.com. I'm on Facebook. You can find me on the Facebook. You can also find my production company that my best friend and I, Kyle Smith, own. It's called Boink Studios. You can find us on Facebook. You can also find us on TomClarkBR.wix.com/boink. You can find my pro wrestling blog on TomClarkBR.wix.com/blog. And also, you can find me on Bleacher Report, on the highly esteemed Camel Clutch blog. And you can find me sometimes on Sportskeeda. That's where I am, dude. That's where I be, yo. I've published quite a bit of stories not pertaining to pro wrestling on the Boink site. Please go check them out. Please stay tuned for more information coming up about the second show that is in the works. The artwork's done. The music's done. We just got to get these things recorded and get these things online because I'm anxious, yo. I want you to check them out and see what you tell me. Tell me what you think. And you know, check them out and see what you think. That's what I want. This has been Tom Clark's Main Event. Hope you enjoyed it. This was number 38. WWE Heels and Their Dirty Deeds, right? I just wanted to come back, man. I want to hate the heels again. I'm just really quick, addition here is that I want heels to cheat. I want them to be hated again. You know what I'm saying? I want this to be like it used to be. I want the heel to get so much heat, crazy heat. At the moment he's faced on the Titantron, he's hated 6 ways from Sunday. Not because he annoys the fans, but because they truly want to see him lose a match. They want to see him get his head took off. They can't wait to see Roman Reigns take him out. Or John, or whoever it is. I miss those days. WWE's missing the boat on this, man. They build no one up the way they should. Heels aren't cheating. They aren't saying the wrong things. I say the wrong things because it's what they should be doing, saying the wrong things. Heels should be wrong all the time. You see what I'm saying? It's not happening. Wish it would happen again. I want it to happen again. I'm not going to stop watching. Anyone out there says is going to stop watching is lying, dude. You're lying to yourself and everybody around you. I'm going to be a fan of the day I die. I just wish this company could get it right. There's other wrestling out there, by the way. There's a lot of other wrestling out there. Go check it out. Lucha Underground's coming back for a second season. That's going to be fun, huh? I like that company. I'm a fan of that company. TNA's still around. Ring of Honor's there. Global Force Wrestling's trying to get on its feet. I'm looking forward to that. I hope they do. Manage to get a network TV deal. That'd be nice. See those guys in action. New Japan's out there. Go check them out. Good stuff. Great stuff, actually. No rumors about Nakamura coming to WWE. I don't know how I feel about that. I love me some Nakamura, but I just see him going to NXT and then being like a cruiserweight role after that. Nakamura is one of the best wrestlers in the world, straight up. If you've never seen him, you got to watch him. His stuff is amazing. He's really good. He's a natural. He's so intense. His character's there. Everything works with Nakamura. It's amazing stuff. Very impressive. I'd like to see it happen. I'm not going to say I don't think it's going to, but I don't know if it should. You see what I'm saying? But that's just me. What else is going on? What other rumors have you heard? Anything you want to talk about or debate, please hit me up, man. I'm here all the time, brother. I'm here all the time. Just hit me up. We'll talk about it. Real quick, side note, I guess sort of a parting comment for you. Has nothing to do with the world of professional wrestling, but I want to send out condolences and sorrow to the family and fans of one Scott Weiland, who was one of the best rock singers that I've ever heard. Maybe the best of his generation, if I can throw that out there. And he's in the top 10 for me, best rock vocalist of all time. Of course, lead singer, Stone Temple Pilots and Velvet Revolver. Dead at the age of 48. I don't have details because honestly, it's the details are whatever. It's just a shame. And no matter how he lived, no matter how he went out, God bless his family and all that stuff. And Godspeed to Scott Weiland. Shame to see him go. Huge fan. All right, folks, that's what I got for you this time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here as always. Remember, if you got feedback, let's talk. If you got stuff you want to get off your chest or things you want to debate back and forth, please let me know. Hit me up. Always there. Please keep your eyes open. Keep checking the Boink website and give me some feedback on the non-pro wrestling stuff we got happening there, the comic book stuff and whatnot. I think you'll like it. Check out Kyle's artwork. All the artwork on boink.com is Kyle Smith, actually. He's the man. So check it out. TomCartBR.wix.com/boink. That's it, folks. Thanks again for everything. I do appreciate your business and your time. And as always, thanks for everything you do for me. I appreciate it. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.